Mandarin speakers, are you looking for a job? Fresh graduates, experienced professionals, or looking a new career? Then, this video is for you.
How's your day, job seekers? Welcome to Life as a Bilingual in the Philippines.
Hi, I'm Franz.
Ni hao! I'm Zari from Mandarin team, our recruitment staff. So I'll be discussing our weekly job openings.
Mandarin is one of the extremely difficult language to learn, but it has a lot of job opportunities, and today, we will be sharing our top 10 job openings for Mandarin non-native, and the salary is up to 155,000 pesos. I know you all guys are waiting for this, so let's start.
So the first job that I'm going to discuss is the position called Mandarin Social Media Content Creator. So this position is located in Taguig for an IT company. The schedule is in day shift and full work on site. It's for a full-time job, and the salary is starting from 80,000 pesos up to 100,000 pesos. So the position, they're looking for someone who has extensive background when it comes to social media creating. Not just for creating like posting in Facebook or posting in YouTube, but in general. When we say in general, they're the ones who's going to think about the content they're going to create or post news, articles, stories, or other multimedia content to attract and maintain the interests of your community or your viewers. So for the recruitment process of this position, firstly, you have to pass the paper screening. Next, you have to go through initial interview, then the second level interview and assessment, which is the language assessment or the Mandarin assessment. Next is the final interview, and once you pass your final interview, you got the job offer. And once you got the job offer, you can get the benefits just as life insurance, 13-month pay, the government mandated benefits, 15 days paid sick leave, and of course, vacation leave. Job that I'm going to discuss is the position called Casino Manager or Mandarin Casino Manager. So this one is located at 3 places, which is the Cebu, Manila, and Clark or Pampanga. The position is Japanese owned. The first Japanese company or the first Japanese casino company that established here in the Philippines. So the schedule is a shifting with graveyard shift, work on site, and for this company they're pretty open. So pretty, like when you say open, like pretty relaxed when it comes to requirements. So number one is they're open to fresh graduate. They're open to undergraduate, and they're also open to high school graduate. Therefore, your bachelor's degree doesn't matter as long as you can speak highly proficient Mandarin. Another thing that you wanted to take note for this position is they wanted to have someone who has at least 3 years of experience in casino manager or casino managerial position. They're also looking for someone who can speak proficient English. Aside from Mandarin, you should also be able to converse fluently in English. For your responsibility as a casino manager, number one is you have to monitor the day-to-day operation of the casino. For the recruitment process of the casino manager position, you have first to pass the paper screening. Second is to pass the initial interview, and once you pass the initial interview, you have to pass the second interview. And once you pass the second interview, you have to pass the final interview, and now you are down to job offer. For the third job that I'm going to discuss, this job is called Mandarin General Ledger. So this position is for e-commerce company located in Taguig and for hybrid setup. The schedule is in day shift and for full-time work. Once you get the job of the position of Mandarin General Ledger, you can get the benefits such as HMO with 2 dependents. Next is transportation allowance or transportation assistance. You can also get the learning programs and seminars from the company, and of course, performance bonus. And don't forget the government mandated benefits. For the requirements of this position, they are looking for someone who has a bachelor's degree in accountancy, economics, management, engineering, business administration, or any related to math and science. Process of general ledger position. Number 1 you have to pass is the pre-call. This one is they're going to directly call you for a phone screening, and after you pass this level, you're going to move forward to their called Recruitment Friday, which is they're going to call you for 3 rounds, and these 3 rounds would take about an hour. So after you pass these 3 rounds, you're going to move forward to your job offer. And once you get the job offer, you can finally get the job of general. Job opening. This opening is called Mandarin Accounts Payable. So this position is for pharmaceutical industry located in Alabang, and the salary is from 50,000 pesos up to 100,000 pesos. So this one is in hybrid. So I think you're going to work 7 times work on site per month. So this job is also full-time and in day shift schedule. Once you got the job, you can get the benefits of firstly 13-month pay. Next is the government mandated benefits. So for the requirements of this one, they're looking for someone who has bachelor's degree in business finance or similar course to finance. Next is fluent or proficient in English in Mandarin, both oral and written. They're also looking for someone who has knowledge in accounting. Lastly, you have to have a basic familiarity with SAP and IVP systems. So one of your responsibilities as accounts payable, number 1 is to handle all the requests for reversal or refund transactions. So all of the money that's going on from your company, you have to be responsible to it. So for the recruitment process of the accounts payable position, number 1 is you have to pass the hiring manager's CV paper screening, and after you pass this one, you have to go through language assessment or Mandarin assessment, and after you pass the language assessment, you have to pass the final interview with the TL or with the hiring manager as well. After you pass the final interview, you will get the job. Listings. Number 5 that we have in our list is called Mandarin Risk Management Analyst. So this one is in BPO industry. The salary is start from 70,000 pesos and 90,000 pesos, but it's still negotiable. This is located in Mandaluyong. The schedule is in day shift, but you have to be amenable to shifting schedule. The setup or the work setup is in hybrid, and the work employment status is for full-time. For the requirements of this position, they're not really particular, they're not really strict when it comes to requirements. So they're open to any profile as long as you have at least 2 years of corporate experience once you have risk management or compliance experience, it's a plus. So one of your responsibility for this position is have to make recommendations to reduce risk, including diversification, portfolio investment, and currency exchange. So for the recruitment process, they have a pretty simple recruitment process. Number one is you have to submit your workday. Once you get uploaded to their website, you have to fill out the form that they're going to send to you via email, and you have to complete the workday within a week. And after that, one of the recruiter from the company will call you directly for a phone screening. And once you pass that phone screening, you're going to do the initial interview. And once you've done the initial interview, you're going to do the language assessment. And once you pass the language assessment, you're going to final interview, and after the final interview, now you got the job offer. So for our sixth job in our listing, this position is called Mandarin HR Manager. So for this position, the company is in logistics industry. The salary is highly negotiable. The location is in Taguig. The schedule is 4-day shift, and for the setup, it's in work on site. For a full-time job, and for the requirements for a Mandarin HR Manager, you have to have a bachelor's degree in human resource management, psychology, or any related courses to human resource or psychology. So for your responsibility as an HR manager, you have to be an admin support in general. When we say in general, you have to support the recruitment, the payroll, the operations, everything related to the company, everything for the company. So for the recruitment process, you have to simply attend the face-to-face interview. So once you pass the paper screening for the company, you have to attend the face-to-face interview. And once you pass the face-to-face interview, you can immediately get the job offer. Seventh job. This job is called Mandarin Compliance Officer. So for this one, they are for real estate industry located in Parañaque. The salary is negotiable. When we say negotiable for this position, they will base it on your experience and of course for your interview. The schedule is in day shift, Monday to Saturday, and for a full-time work. So for the requirements of compliance officer, they are looking for someone who has at least experience in compliance. They prefer someone who has at least 2 or 1 year experience in compliance. But rest assured that they're also open to any profile that have at least 1 to 2 years corporate experience. They can also consider someone who is undergraduate as long as you have compliance experience. So for the recruitment process, you have to firstly pass the paper screening. So after you pass the paper screening, you were going through the online interview, which is the initial interview via Zoom. And after you pass the interview, you have to go to a face-to-face interview on their site. And once you pass the final interview, you will now get the job offer. So for the 8th Mandarin job on our list, this position is called Mandarin Team Leader. So this one is for BPO industry located in Quezon City. The salary is 100,000 pesos. Work on site for shifting schedule and for full-time work. So the requirements for this one is they're looking for someone who is proficient in Mandarin and English. And they're also looking for someone who is bachelor's graduate of any course, but they can consider if you're undergraduate but you have Mandarin or team leader experience. So your responsibility as a Mandarin team leader for this company, so you have to be the leader of your team, right? So you also have to organize and assess various of departments in recruitment, training, and performance assessment. So for the recruitment process of Mandarin team leader, you have to, of course, pass the paper screening again. Next is you have to go through initial interview. This initial interview could be based on your convenience. So it can be either phone call or online interview, which is Zoom or MS Teams. And once you pass the initial interview, you're going to do an assessment. This assessment is more like making a PPTs related to team leader job. And after you pass your assessment, now you go down to final interview. And once you pass the final interview, you will now get the job offer. Last position that we have, the ninth job, Mandarin position. This position is called Mandarin HR Specialist. This is located in Parañaque. Day shift schedule, Monday to Saturday. The salary is 80,000 pesos. Full-time work. So for the requirements of HR Specialist, you have to be a bachelor's degree in human resource or psychology or any relevant courses or program to human resource and psychology. You also have to have experience in HR or human resource when it comes to recruitment, at least 1 to 3 experience. But don't worry, they are also open to any profile that have at least 1 to 3 years of corporate experience. So for your responsibility as a HR specialist, you are basically going to be assigned to the recruitment process or the recruitment side of HR. So therefore, you're going to be HR recruiter. So you have to help your company to look for more employees for your company. Down to the last position that we have. This is called Mandarin Public Relations Officer. So this position is for capital investment industry located in Pasay. The salary is from 150,000 pesos up to 155,000 pesos. So this one is for shifting schedule, work on site, and the job is for full-time employee. The benefits is 30-month pay, free meals, free accommodation or housing allowance. They also offer government-mandated benefits, which is the SSS, PhilHealth, Pag-ibig, vacation leaves, sick leaves, and of course, HMO. So for the requirements for this position, number 1 is of course you have to be proficient in Mandarin, and not only Mandarin but also English language. You also need to have relevant working experience in restaurant, hotel, or similar environment. That includes supervisory or leadership position in those industry. You also have to have excellent communication skills. So your responsibility for this position is number 1 is to coordinate with the Philippine service to jointly ensure efficient and orderly services in the halls, venues, and other places. So you have to work closely with other departments such as the kitchen, service team, etc. So to ensure the guests and needs are met and efficient service. So for the recruitment process, you have to firstly pass the paper screening. Second is to pass the initial interview. And once you pass the initial interview, now you will move forward to second level of interview. And after this, final interview. Lastly,
have it, our top 10 job openings for Mandarin non-native speakers. And today we are going to answer some questions. And my first question, Ms. Sari, is what do you think of able to speak Mandarin help you in your career here in the Philippines?
So for that question, one of the advantages of Mandarin speaker in the Philippines is, I think, number one is the language premium that they have. So that is one of the most in-demand language in the Philippines. So when you are a Mandarin speaker, many companies seek for you, as we have a lot of Chinese companies in the Philippines, and I think many communities have built, or many Chinese communities have built in our country nowadays. So if you are a Mandarin speaker, you have a great advantage.
You know what, Ms. Sari, you are really great. And I have read some comments on our websites, and she said that she is a multilingual, but she is not sure if her fluency is enough. So what minimum level of proficiency or fluency do you recommend before applying to a Mandarin positions?
Alright. For that situation, we often get that question from our candidates. So when they are very being doubtful about their language proficiency, we often say to them that we have applicants that out of 10, 5 out of 10 can be considered as fluent, or can be applied, or can be endorsed to different companies. So what we recommend, or what we suggest for this speakers that doubtful for their Mandarin language, I suggest that you have to be just like confident. For those Mandarin speakers that wanted to try Mandarin openings but still having a second thoughts to try Mandarin openings, all you have to do is to ask us to assist you, and we'll guide you thoroughly. No matter how nervous you are or how doubtful you are, we'll make you confident about your language.
That's great, Ms. Sari. But how about in English language? What exact level of English is required in some positions?
Alright, for the English language, it actually depends on the company. Some companies doesn't really pay attention to English level, but as long as you have at least conversational level in English, that would do. So for this opening, or for our opening, we are mostly focused on Mandarin language. So as long as you're proficient and as long as you're confident with your Mandarin, English is like second to it only.
Yeah, I have learned a lot from you. And may I ask, do you ask your applicants how they learn Mandarin?
So we actually, that question, we always include that to our questions whenever we talk to our applicants. So we ask them how they learn, because this is how we get to know them. First, of course, we get to know them. Secondly, this is how we understand them, or we rate them. How did they acquire their language? So this is technically our basis if they are really a Mandarin speaker or not. So in this question, they explain to us how they acquire the language. So yeah, basically that's it.
Yes, Ms. Sari. And may I ask, does the company provide free accommodation? Is it free? Or they provide housing allowance for the applicants?
Alright, for that question, it actually depends on the company. So there are companies that offers free accommodation. When we say free accommodation, they have designated place for the applicant already. For the housing allowance, if the candidate or if the applicant comes to the term that she or he doesn't like the place, the company will provide a specific amount of allowance to the applicants for her to look to her personal place. Yeah, for the personal place to near area. So that's the only condition. As long as it's near to the company, the company is okay to housing allowance.
That's a great news, Ms. Sari. And the company provide a housing allowance for our applicants. And may I ask, do they also provide a transportation allowance or a company car with or without driver?
Alright. For that question, it will depend on the company. We have this one client that offers free shuttle service. When we say free shuttle service, they provide a specific location, like point to point.
Yes, sorry.
Like we have this one opening in Laguna, so they only provide transportation allowance for residents in Laguna. So the transportation is only within
Within Laguna.
Laguna. So that's the case. That's the first case. We also have this one case in the I think in Alabang. So from point to point, from Alabang to Taguig, Taguig to Makati. So it's depends. That's the case for the free shuttle service or free transportation allowance. So when we say transportation allowance, they were going to provide or give you allowances for your transportation every day. So that's different.
But how about a company card?
For the company card, it depends how the company really wants you.
Yeah.
So if the company really wants your profile and really wanted you to be in the company, they will do everything, believe me. So a company car with a driver is possible for Mandarin opening.
Yes, Miss Sari. I've learned a lot from you, but sadly, we're down to our last questions. And for our last questions, how many job openings for Mandarins that you have every month to secure that if you have an applicant, there's a positions for them?
So for this question, we have at least not lower than 50 openings every month. So for this month, for example, we have at least 55 openings. 55, I think I can say 55 to 60 openings, both non-native and native openings. But for non-native openings only, we have at least 45 openings. So this is, you can say that this is for November opening only. So this is per month. So imagine that the company is going to like holiday season already, but we still have this number of openings, right? So imagine what the number would be during job hunting season, right?
And for the whole year.
Yeah, and for the whole year, of course. For this month, we only have, I think, 45 for non-native only. So yeah, that's it for our openings. So there you have it. This is our Mandarin jobs for non-native speakers. So for those who are on lookout or for those who are job hunting for our Mandarin openings, don't miss out on this video.
Thank you so much, Miss Sari, and thank you so much to our loyal viewers for watching all the way through. And if you find any valuable information in this video, please hit the subscribe button, like, and share this video. And see you next week for our next job opening. So, Miss Sari, bye-bye.
Bye!